Yes, everyone, my name is Stephen Howson. This is 5 things that we learned watching Manchester United get absolutely tatered by Spurs. Number 1, too many errors. The defensive errors that we saw in yesterday's match were just... They were Sunday League. They weren't even schoolboy things. They were just absolutely pathetic. If you go back and look at the first goal, you see Bailly heading it to himself twice, Maguire making a complete hash of trying to head it back to the goalkeeper, and then when Luke Shaw gets in the way, instead of just having communication with each other, instead of either Shaw knowing what he's meant to do or Maguire being able to tell him what to do, Maguire tries to dance with him, resulting in Tottenham managing to squeeze in and get their toe onto a ball and make it 1-1. The mistakes at the back have been there for the entire season, actually. Gone is the assurance that we saw last season where actually you thought this team could probably keep a clean sheet. We probably struggled scoring a little bit at the other end, and once Bruno came, we sort of figured that out, and that's when we went on that incredible run, and we looked actually unbeatable at times. You keep clean sheets, you score goals at the other end, you win football matches. It's Michael Owen level analysis, but it is factual. The issue with United this season is, and I honestly can't pinpoint it because I feel like the lack of a pre-season is one thing, but lack of pre-season doesn't make up for 12 minutes into a game just completely losing your mind. That's in you. That isn't because you were... lack of pre-season should show in the second half of a game, in the last 30 of a game, in the last 20 of a game. It shouldn't be showing from the first minute. That's where I find it tough to sort of reconcile. Yes, the players were tired towards the end of the season. Yes, they didn't get a full pre-season, but they're still professional footballers and they're still far fitter than the majority of society, and they're still comparably in decent enough shape to go and play 90 minutes of top-flight football. So that should affect you later on in the game. Not in the first half of a game, not in the first half of a game. That's where I go, something else is at play here. The concentration I can blame potentially on the court case hanging over Harry Maguire. That's a potential reason. You could look at maybe that some of the players aren't settled. Maybe there's something like that. Maybe Luke Shaw's not quite settled with the rumours about a left-back coming in, which now appear to have been confirmed. But collectively, we are not good. We are not defending well collectively. And it isn't just Manchester United. There's a lot of teams conceding a lot of goals and looking very fragile at the back that didn't have a pre-season. There's got to be something in it, but there's also no excuses for some just basic stuff that they should know. Number 2, laziness is killing us. Now, this kind of ties in a little bit to point number 1 in terms of the mistakes at the back. These are mistakes possibly made through being lazy. We conceded our second goal because the defence completely switched off, didn't react, and allowed a quick free kick. A quick free kick is the sort of thing I wouldn't allow the lads at Paddock FC to get away with. We are 15 levels below United, and I wouldn't allow that. There's players in that team that would have taken control of that and stood on top of the free kick. It's annoying. It's a shithouse tactic. It's needed. Where's the leadership? Where's someone taking control of this situation and not letting it happen? Harry Maguire was caught in between being near the free kick after giving a foul and not being back on his line. Harry Maguire there, wearing the captain's armband, needs to organise. If someone else hasn't clocked it and be like, oi, stand on the free kick. You never let a free kick go. It's a very important role, is the guy that goes and annoys everyone. The referee will tell you to move, and if he has to tell you to move 6 or 7 times in a game, you might end up getting a card for it. But it's so worthwhile doing when the consequences are as dire as what they were. We had completely switched off. Completely switched off. And it's literally, the ball was in their half. And you've just given them an opportunity by being more alert to it. That's laziness. And that's not acceptable. And if we weren't being so lazy, we might have not conceded anywhere near as many goals as we conceded at home today. So many times we saw us defending narrow. I don't understand what that was all about. So many times the ball goes out to the Spurs winger in the final third. You're supposed to go and get out there. You're supposed to get touch tight to the guy. You're supposed to not let him turn. You're supposed to, every single fullback, Your job is several-fold, but you should be running through this checklist in your head. Stop the cross. No turn. Don't let him run. Try and play it back inside. That's what your little mental checklist should be doing. No turn, no foul. All of those sorts of things. But you have to get out there first. When the ball gets out there, get out there and meet him and stop him right there. Don't allow him to come to the box. And with VAR in the Premier League, you're going to be giving away penalties left, right and centre. Get out to him and stop him there. We don't see Manchester United doing that. And I can't imagine Mike Phelan and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer are two people that are saying to him, yeah, just casually just go out and mark them in your own time. Don't put yourself out or anything, but just walk in their general direction when they've got the ball in our final third. That doesn't seem like the sort of instructions that those two guys would be doing, but Luke Shaw was well guilty of this, and even Wan-Bissaka was guilty of this at times as well. This laziness in defence. There was the time as well, I don't know which goal it was the fourth or the fifth or the sixth. Luke Shaw gets dragged away by Lucas Moura. He follows him for some reason into the D. Why is Luke Shaw in the D when the ball is central? It's not where Luke Shaw's meant to be. He gets dragged into the D. He gets caught in between chasing someone. That's where you're supposed to pass on to your defensive midfielder. Pick him up and going back to my spot. That's where the defensive midfielder maybe even comes in and takes control of that and goes, fuck off, back to your spot. But Luke Shaw kind of just stood there in the D. He's lost his man. And now they've played it into the spot that you're supposed to be in. And he's still just looking at it like, wonder what's going on over there? What's going on over there, mate, is we're conceding another fucking goal and you're in no man's land. Fucked up when you said we should sign some extra players because they've looked at you and gone, yeah, someone to fucking replace him. Number 3, we can't always rely on Bruno's pens. I said in my preview that I thought Bruno was going to be United's key man. I thought, obviously, we get a penalty. He doesn't miss. He's got 10 penalties. He scored 10 penalties for United. Mint. I thought he was going to be our key man because I thought the final ball into the box is his. The final opportunity to score is his. He's got Rashford, he's got Greenwood, he's got Martial in front of him. And we saw his involvement in the build-up to the penalty. He was great. Great little one-touch stuff. Excellent feet from everybody involved. Drawing the foul. It was a foul. It was a pen. But you have to build on that. You have to be able to... It's not just about the penalty. We get a 1-0 lead inside a minute. You turn the screw. You go 2-0 up. And you keep moving forward. United just absolutely capitulated. We're up after a minute and a half and we're like, sure, this will all be fine. Not once did I see, after that moment, did I see Bruno in a dangerous spot with time and space. Not once did I see him able to recreate that 1 and 2 touch sort of play where he was so influential in the build-up to the penalty. Bruno's an excellent footballer, but you have to get excellent footballers on the ball in the right areas to create the right opportunities to go and score some goals. Now, prior to Martial getting sent off, and once he was sent off, it kind of all went out the window a little bit. Prior to the sending off, we just didn't do that. And even when we were in good goal-scoring opportunities, I'm seeing Nemanja Matic take loads of touches around the box. Why? Why is Matic being the guy in the final third? Not acceptable. Paul Pogba was just non-existent. For the player that, probably thinks he should be captain, probably thinks he should be getting paid whatever, probably thinks he's getting a move to Real Madrid. Mate, Paul Pogba was shocking. To be fair, it'd be easy to tell you who wasn't shocking. Because none of them. Paul Pogba was bad today. But why is the ball at Matic's feet in and around the D? Why are we looking for Matic to create magic? That's not his job. It's the job of Bruno. It's the job of Pogba. It's the job of Greenwood. And far too slow getting the ball to those players' feet in an area that they can have an impact on it. Tottenham, before the sending off, sat in a brilliant low block, denied the space, and just allowed us to just sit outside the box where we're dangerous. Start shooting. So you've got some fucking right digs on you. Pogba, I've seen you score from out there. Even Matic, I've seen you score from out there. Start taking shots. Then you're going to draw the players out to you because they don't want you to be shooting all the time. Then you can slide one in. Then you can maybe get a shot off on target. Just fucking shite. Number 4, we capitulated far too easy. after Tony Marshall saw red for nonsense, but you put your hand up to someone, you go in, we just completely folded. There was zero fight back from Manchester United. 2 minutes after Martial got sent off, Harry Kane goes and scores, and then like 7 minutes later, Son adds another one. And from then, you are not getting back into that game. It's hard enough with Jose Mourinho, and it's hard enough when there is just seemingly an absolute lack of fight, hunger, desire, ingenuity, anything from this Manchester United side. Even if we're down to 10 men, which happens in football enough to be able to know what to do in those circumstances, you've got to learn how to keep your head, how to concentrate, how to adapt, how to switch up to maybe a new formation, a new focus. If Tony Marshall's the focal point of that team and you're going, right, we want to go wide and we want to be able to get the ball into him, let's go, okay, when we're playing out now, we're going to try and get the feet into Greenwood and we're going to look to maybe catapult round and get it into Marcus inside the penalty box. That needs to have been planned out somewhere, especially when you're a Premier League team. United at no point have gone, we need to have an idea of what to do when we get down to 10 men. I fucking hope they have. I would hope that they've done that. But it didn't look like they've done that. And we've seen, I can't remember it is off the top of my head, was it Seville recently? Where they planned on what to do if they went down to 10 men prior to a final, and it happened exactly as they predicted. It might have been Atletico Madrid actually, and Diego Simeone. What to do if you go down to 10 men, here's how we're going to play, here's what the focus is, and here's what we're going to do, and here's how we're going to win the fucking game. And they did it. You as a manager then are walking on fucking clouds. Your team are like, this fucking guy knows what he's talking about. United didn't seem to have that plan, and maybe that is something like people love to throw blame at Ole all the time, and a lot of it's not justified. That might be one of the justified things. Oh, you guys let me know in the comments. Number 5, Luke Shaw is finished. Shaw was awful today. Probably one of the worst players on the pitch in a United shirt, which means he was probably one of the worst players on the pitch. Lazy, out of position, completely devoid of any sort of football nous and intelligence. Spurs scored a couple of goals down his side and where he was not and should have been. Arguably could have been sent off. We clearly wanted a new left-back because the management don't trust in Luke Shaw. They see a weakness either in his defensive capabilities, although I think it's probably his strongest suit. Going forward, he's shit. He doesn't offer anywhere near enough. He doesn't score enough, doesn't assist enough, doesn't create enough, doesn't support his winger enough. Tellers obviously has been brought in because that's an issue that they see. Now his wages I think are going to cause a bit of a political issue. They're also going to be a nightmare to try and move on. He's going to have to take a considerable wage cut wherever he goes. No one's going to pay him what we pay him. And I don't see how he gets back in. He was fantastic last season on the left-hand side of a back three, highlighting some of the good defensive work that he was capable of doing in that back three in certain circumstances. His inconsistency is an issue. His attitude seemingly is an issue. And the fact that he's been replaced, clearly the board and the management agreed with that as well. Seems like Tellez is all but sewn up. Supposedly having a medical last night. Let's hope that he can come in and hit the ground running. There's probably going to be a couple of new starters in the next game against Newcastle. And hopefully it's more than 2. Outside of that, what else did we learn? The midfield as a whole, garbage. The transitions from midfield, garbage. I could go on about Lamela and Martial because that's probably a game-changing decision. VAR either didn't do its job or wasn't asked to do its job. Not good enough. But there's going to be a lot of things unfolding. Make sure to check us out today, all day, on Paddock for the deadline day coverage. And if you're in the area and you want to come and watch some live football, especially this weekend when it's international break, then make sure to get down to Paddock FC. We are free out of free, top of the league. and we're going for 4 out of 4 this weekend. Kickoff is 2 o'clock. It's free entry at Droylsden FC. You can get there on a Metrolink, you can get there by car, you can fucking paraglide, suits me. But like I said, it's free entry. Fans are allowed as long as you're social distanced inside the stadium. You don't need to wear a mask, although we do encourage it. And you can come and watch live football and have a pint while you're doing it. Can't do that at the Premier League. I don't know when the next time you'll be inside Old Trafford is. So if you want to watch live football in Manchester, more than welcome to come down and cheer on the lads as we're going for 4 out of 4. And hopefully it feels a lot better than we do right now. Laters.